Hey everyone, sorry I haven't posted a video in I think a week now. I've been busy with just reorganizing the TradeBuddy community chat room. I've changed up some things. I no longer give out my alerts of my trades, just because there were too many people thinking that you can simply copy some trades to be successful. And I've also stopped doing my live stream trades. I still do a pre-market webinar in the morning. I break down my planned trades in the morning, and then I do a recap at the end of the day, and that goes out to community. So if you want to check that out, of course, down below. So yeah, uh, I didn't trade anything yesterday. I was just way too drowsy. So I took the day off, and today I went in with open mind. Last week we saw some pretty good volume with the cannabis stocks like TLRY, uh, TRON, and SI. So I went into this week with an open mind. Maybe summer trading is finally over and we're gonna see some huge spikes. And yesterday we saw NLST go absolutely parabolic. And continue today hit a high of $1.10, and we had BPX, ANY, and now I think after hours. Another one running after hours too. I can't find the name, but that'll be lesson up ahead. So I took a few trades today. Overall, very nice. And also one more thing, I'm no longer gonna have my P&Ls posted. I'm not gonna have those big titles because it just gives off the wrong impression. Trading is not a way to make money fast. You have to treat it like a career, and if you don't have the mindset of treating it like a career, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And all these people on YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff who post their P&Ls, they give new traders the false hope of making money super fast, and it's just not the case. So I'm still gonna have all my trades listed, but not the actual P&Ls. But of course, if you do math, you can figure out how much lost. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this lesson. I'm gonna go over BPMX. I'm just all these low priced plays I have been running like crazy. It seems like right now the market has moved from the cannabis stocks over to stocks that are underneath $1.00 because like I said, the BPX ran 17 up to 24 cents, and we had the NLST run from like 10 cents to dollars. So that's where the focus is right now, and that's where all the traders are going. So simply follow the volume and follow the trade. That's where you make. All right, so we're gonna break down all those trades, and hopefully you guys do. All right, if you do, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, just leave them down below, and I'll answer them. And yeah, hopefully enjoy. Alrighty, so today is actually September 12th, and I'm redoing this video for yesterday, September 11th. The video I made yesterday was not the best audio quality. I have a noise gate in my OBS studio settings, which I use for my webinars, but I forgot to turn that off when I made my videos, so it was cutting out the first noise of my sentences and words. So I fixed that. I do apologize for that issue. It's my own fault not to review the video before I put it out on YouTube. So hopefully it is better now. So we're just gonna just recap on what I did yesterday, the trades I made, why I made them, and my overall thesis on these trades. All right, so first off, I want to go over that we do have a new program we use for the TradeBuddy community. So this is available to all members of the community. We are on Slack now, and you can see we have a bunch of different channels here. We have like a chart channel where you can post your charts and ask for guidance. We have daily recaps where you post your daily recap every day. It helps you just be accountable on your trades. A lesson library where I'm going to be posting my exclusive video lessons. The main chat where we have our chat room talk every morning, every market open, and then just a bunch more. So That's what we have access to now. The great thing about Slack is that it has a mobile application too, so you can you can chat with traders on the go, and you can talk with us on the weekends too. We have an off-topic section where we just, we chat and hang out. This is not not a room where we just want to learn to be better traders. This is a room where we want to network with each other, because even if someone isn't a very good trader in the room, maybe they're a great programmer, maybe they're, like a great car mechanic. You can always like talk to new people and learn from them. So that's really what I put this community together for, and so far it's working out really well. So we're gonna go over the trades yesterday. So yesterday we kind of saw the continuation from NLST. This one was a huge move from Friday and Thursday. It went from 15 cents, gapped up to 29 cents, and then eventually hit a high of $1.10 yesterday. Now, of course, today it's falling apart because it did an offering. But this kind of parabolic move caused what we like to call sympathy plays. So what is a sympathy play? We've talked about these quite a bit in the past. It's essentially when you have one stock that just goes absolute bananas, it goes parabolic, and then the other stocks that are like that stock, they start to see some trading volume as well, because traders want to find the next big mover. So in this instance, NLST, was a very low priced stock that just went parabolic. So what happened after that? We had like BPMX. This one ran up over 100%. We had ANY do a big run up to yesterday. It went from 25 up to 55. We had what else was there? And we also had AGRX gap up from 29 cents and hit a high of 91 cents. So overall, all of these were sympathy plays to NLST, because NLST was the first and biggest runner. So it's very important to know what a sympathy play is and how to play them. So essentially, how sympathy plays work is that once the head of the snake, so called, is chopped off, i.e., when you see the big crash on NLST, that usually leads to the downfall of the rest. And that's why today on the 12th, we saw everything just fall apart. NLST, like I said, had an offering. BPMX down 4%, ANY down 13%, AGRX down 26%. So that's just the day after of the big red day on Sympathy Plays. But going to my trade yesterday, I traded ANY in the morning, and I traded BPMX. I also traded IZEA, and that was for a loss. So let me just go over IZEA first, because I want to go over my loss first. So just some background. I did not trade on Monday. I was just super drowsy. I did not feel in the right state of mind to trade whatsoever, so I decided not to trade. You do not need to trade every single day, and especially if you are not in the right state of mind, if you're not well rested, and if you're just having the personal problems, I recommend just take the day off and take care of yourself, because trading is very much a sport almost, where you have to be in tip-top shape mentally and physically too, because you need your mind and your brain working in the smooth manner. So IZEA, I wasn't really planning on trade this one. This one had a big gap up on Monday after hours because of earnings, but then it couldn't hold its gains whatsoever, and you can see lots of resistance here in the 250s. So the only area I really wanted to play this one was on support around 190, using around 185 as my risk. And the reason why I wanted to use 185 was because this day right here, if we just expand this out, we can see the high of this day here was 185, as it says up in the top. So I wanted to use 190 because that was the top resistance on these few days here. You can see 189, 192, so forth, and then stopping out underneath 185. The problem I had with this trade is that I was a bit too aggressive in the beginning. I didn't let the trade come to me. So as you guys know, I like to identify my areas of support and resistance even before I enter the trade. I always make a plan first. I plan where I'm going to buy and where I'm going to stop out and where I'm going to take my profits. So I identified the support at 190, and I had some orders down at 192, 191, 190, and 189, leaving those out there and letting the price come to me. I want to be the support. I don't want to wait for support to hold. I want to be part of the support, helping the stock hold. But we had a small perk in volume above this candle here. You can see right here we had a very big jump in volume on this candle. Down here you can see, and that caused me to get some FOMO, and I actually bought in using a market order, and it got filled at 196. I got filled 1,000 shares at 196. And then of course it popped up to 204, did nothing, saw resistance, and it came back down. And I still had my other orders out there waiting, and I got hit more and more and more, and eventually I had my average price at around 193 of like 4,000 shares. Now this wasn't the best situation to be in because it's not the best average. If my plan was to buy around 190, then my average should be pretty damn close to 190, even lower, because then if we do break through 195, I have a little bit of wiggle room, letting the stock maneuver and do its thing. But because I had a pretty bad average, it messed up the whole trade for me. So this is just going off the whole topic of entries are everything. Let the stock come to you and don't get FOMO. I know it's very easy to say, but you know, even me myself, I get FOMO too sometimes, and that just goes back to the fact that I wasn't prepared and I wasn't in quite the tip-top shape mentally to trade. You know, because I did no trading over the weekend and I didn't trade on Monday, I was just eager to make some money, and that was my downfall. So then this, it broke the resistance at 190 and hit a low of 183, and at this point, of course, I was extremely scared of it falling further, and I sold. So I actually sold and hit the very bottom, exited my position at 190 or 183. So took a pretty, not massive loss, but pretty significant. And it bounces off right up there, and you can see if I had just followed my plan and had a better entry, I would have been willing to hold through that 183, and I would have been able to turn this into a very nice profit. So this just goes back to the fact of entries are everything. You really need to avoid FOMO, and you really need to look at the big picture and just focus on the basic support and resistance. That's what messed me up here. I got FOMO because once we held support here in the 192 area and saw this big jump in volume, I thought this was going to be the bounce, but that essentially trapped me. So now going on to the winning trades, A and Y yesterday was a very nice morning spike. This one was alerted by one of the members in our community. You can see this one had a very nice breakout pattern forming over the pre-market high of 40 cents, and then of course over the 42-cent area. So let me just bring over my trades here. So you can see I got in with 10,000 shares at this price, the 44.76. It wasn't the best entry, but the main thing I noticed was the extreme ramp up in volume. And this is something you'll just learn over time from watching level 2. But the most important thing about watching breakouts occur live is you have to notice the acceleration of the buys. It's not just how many buys are going through, it's not how big the buys are, it's the acceleration. How fast are people buying? Because that causes the type of the FOMO that other traders will have to buy in after you. So that's when I got in, because there was extreme like rapid buying over and over. So I got in there with 10,000 shares, and I got back out pretty quickly. I locked in my profits when I was up around 6 cents a share. So very nice win there. And I essentially just won back all my losses from IZEA and turned a nice profit. So that was good. And then BPMX was yet again a low-priced stock that was having lots of volume because of NLST running up. And for BPMX, I noticed a very strong level of support at 20 cents. So that's exactly where I wanted to play it off of. You can see that yesterday we had a very nice cup and handle formation. In the morning we had clear resistance at 20 cents, and then we broke out of that very nicely. And then, as we all know, for technical analysis to work, previous resistance must act as future support. So once we had this breakout, I didn't want to chase this breakout. I wanted to wait until the price came back down. It came back to me, and I had my orders spread in between like 21 cents and 19.5 cents in order to have me add into the trade according to my plan and get a good average near 20 cents. So that's exactly what I did. See, I had one order at like 26.6, one order at 22.7, and one order at 22.5. So, you know, letting the trade come to me, not chasing it, building a nice core position on the level of support that I have identified. And then, of course, once you have a good entry, the trade is super easy. There's no emotions. There's no worry on your end, because one, you had a plan for your trade, and so far you have done the plan perfectly by having a good entry. So now all that matters is just sticking to your plan. If it goes up, locking your profits along the way. If it goes down, make sure you cut your loss at your risk level. So entries are everything. You can see once I had the entries done, this trade just made money, I mean, almost immediately. I took my profits up along the way. I did think this was going to break out over 24 cents just because we had A and Y go parabolic, and the others as well. So my plan was to have partial profits locked in here at the 23.5 area, and then as it broke over 24, I would lock in some more. But unfortunately, anything can happen in the stock market, so this one just had a really random just panic sell-off. I did not want to sell into the panic because I knew it would bounce once the panic was done. So I waited until the panic was over, and I just got back out once it bounced up. So, you know, not the best trade in terms of profit. However, how I managed my plan, how I managed the trade overall was, you know, it was solid. It was 10 out of 10. So I'll do this trade every single time the same exact way. Simply identify an area of support that you can play off of, build an entry around that level of support, and then simply take your profits along the way. Alright, so that's the video lesson for yesterday. As far as today goes, I made no trades whatsoever. It was a pretty slow day. Like I said, we had a big gap down on NLST because it had an offering. So that's caused quite a lot of panic. And because it was an offering news, I did not want to try and play the dip buy. Other than that, we had some other ones like FOMX. This one had phase 3 trial news, but the shorts were just all over this one. It was pretty clear to me in pre-market that this was just being attacked by shorts because of the clear resistance in the 950s, 940 area, and then it just was pummeled down. And whenever it broke through support, that support acted as resistance all the way down. So no play out on that one for me. I was thinking about buying the dip at $7, but then I just didn't want to, mainly because of how the overall market was looking. There was overall really low volume today, and just not that much that made me want to trade. So I took no trades today. That's fine. I'd rather lose no money than make small money, essentially. I stayed disciplined, and I stayed away. The main play that I saw was on FOMX. However, I could not get any shares to short, but essentially you can see that once we had the massive panic sell-off, we bounced, and look where we found resistance on VWAP. So that would have been a very nice entry, using VWAP as your area to start building your position short. You could have had an average around the high 6s and covered on the way down. Very nice afternoon fade there. Alright, so that's the video lesson for yesterday and a quick one for today. Hopefully the audio is better in this one. I do apologize for the last video. And yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll talk to you guys later.